Hey, hey everybody, welcome to the Mental Wellness Show. This is definitely going to be a bit different. Obviously, you can tell it's just me right now. Me and the Pudge. Where you at? Come here. Come here. There she is. Just me and the lady, Marcy. Aw, thank you. Thank you for the kiss. Anyways, so this is a solo video, not because my time management skills are
why you always lying?
And I have been trouble. My time management, I get ahead of the game and I think I'm all good, kosher, and then I go a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days without reaching out to people to be on the show. So it's just a struggle. Anyways, this is really cool. This is so different. I hope the lighting's good. So, topic of today is going to be about me, and if anybody was curious why I started the show or my mental health story, no, I think I like it better the other way. So anyway, for one thing, I didn't really realize this was a mental health, just like a mental thing until quite recently, is I always struggled with, even in elementary school, I struggled with body image. So I was very picky on what I wore. I would change my outfit all the time. I went through a phase in 6th grade where I wore the same thing every day for like months on end. It could have been the whole school year, to be honest. I remember it was this like black jacket with this red stripe, black shorts, and some like basketball shoes. And it's because I was so self-conscious of how I looked. But with that outfit, I felt confident, which I think is okay to wear the same clothes every day, similar clothes, but I was literally wearing the same outfit every day. And it was because I wasn't in a good headspace, because I was so picky and body conscious of what I looked like that I felt like nothing else I could wear would look good. So struggling with body image was huge for me throughout school, and it affected my confidence so much. 7th grade hit and I hit puberty. And just like everyone does through their life, another thing we have in common, and I got acne so bad. Like, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can definitely see. This is all scarring. If I didn't have the beard, there'd probably be some more. I got acne really bad, and that like hit my confidence like boom. And that was tough for me because I was pretty confident going into junior high, and then after that, it kind of sunk low. Because people would always come up to me and be like, hey, did you know you had really bad acne? Hey, you should try Proactive. And maybe some of their comments were like, their heart was in the right place. You know, maybe they really wanted it better for me. But I think also a lot of kids were just kind of being rude, or like, obviously I know I have acne. Obviously. So 7th grade, that hit my confidence, okay? It really took me up until like high school to gain it back and really to become my own person. And shout out to Accutane. Good for getting rid of acne if you stick with it. Bad, horrible for some things. A lot of be careful with it if you're pregnant, whatnot. Skip that. So we're at high school now, and this, when I was 17, was what I thought was the first time I had a mental health journey started, okay? But of course, I had problems with body image my whole life. I was working. I wanted to work so bad when I was young, 12, 13, 14, 15. I was upset that I could not work in the US until I was 15 or 16. So when I was 16, I got a job at the YMCA. Loved it. I worked with kids, had a great time. I turned 18 and I'm like, okay, I'm a big boy now. I can get a full-time job. This isn't right for me. I'm gonna quit. And I put in applications for other big boy jobs. And there was a time of about 2 months where I was not working, and I was only taking 2 classes my senior year because I only needed 2 credits. And I was at the time working at the YMCA, where I worked in the morning, went to school in the afternoon, worked at the YMCA in the evening. So my day was full, okay? So I was busy. So the time that I quit the YMCA, I only had 2 classes my whole day. So I wasn't doing sports at the time. So I had like 2 hours of things I had to do Monday through Friday. At first, that's so cool because I have so much free time and I can do whatever I want. But that very quickly led into me not knowing what to do with my time. And really, that's when I first started to feel low. And I didn't really know what was going on. I felt like there was some meaninglessness in my life. And that was really the first time I kind of felt depressed. And what fixed it was getting busy again. I got a full-time job, a big boy full-time job, while I was still in high school. So then I had my 2 classes, and then I would go work for 8 hours. And things were great. Things were great for a year. Not even a year, probably 6 months. And I started to realize that, okay, I'm working, I'm staying busy, but I started to feel low again. Well, I skipped past a huge part, sorry. When I graduated high school, I'm not going to mention anyone's names. If you're watching this and you assume that you're a part of my story, because you might know you are, I want nothing but the best for you, and I forgive, and everything that happened is in the past. I'm all good. But for the sake of sharing my story, I'm telling about it. So, growing up in school, I only had a couple of really good friends, and that was throughout my entire school, junior high, high school. And my senior year, getting close to graduating, I had one really good friend that I knew we were kind of distancing. I just didn't get along with him as much as I used to, and I knew it was kind of going to just naturally break apart. And then I had another really good friend who I still felt a really good connection with, and what ended up happening was I think we got in an argument, and the person basically cut me out of their life and acted like I was a stranger. And I was okay. I would try to make up and all that and rekindle things, but it just didn't work out. So I felt like I had nobody in my life then, because I only had a couple good friends throughout high school, and now I felt like I had nobody, okay? Even though I had family and I did have people to talk to, I then felt like I had nobody. So that was super hard. And distracting myself with work worked for a little bit, but then the real problem starts to kind of come up out of that, right? Marcy, come here. Come here, Marcy, come here. So I'm keeping myself busy with work, but the days start to get harder and harder because I'm now dealing with basically a breakup, a friend breakup, a relationship. I literally went through the stages of like, whatever, it's all good, I'm okay, to being angry, to feeling sad, then to like becoming depressed. And that was really my life for about 2 years while I was working. I remember calling home, calling to my mom. My mom was like the one person in my life that I speak to about anything, I trusted about anything. I talked to her about my mental health, and I would call her from work crying because I felt so alone. I felt so alone. I felt so meaningless. I felt like there was no point to my life. I did want to die. I did not ever attempt to commit suicide, but I felt like I wanted to die. I didn't care if I would accidentally get in a car crash or something like that, you know? That was where I was at. So I did get into counseling. It's the funny thing about counseling for me was every time I went there, I was feeling good. So it was hard for me to open up because I felt good at the time I was going to counseling. But the good thing about counseling is it's set up in a way where you go frequently. So when there is a time in your life where you're feeling very low down, having that counselor, that therapist there to help you is so key. Fast forward a little bit, I began to forgive the situation. Counseling did help, but what really got me out of it, and to the point where I'm now, I can say like 9 like 19 out of 20 days, such a weird number, I am good. I do not feel low. Probably even like 29 out of 30 days, I feel good. And of course, you know, everyone has like those days where you just feel off, you feel like unmotivated. What was the other word? Unmotivated, lazy. I forgot, I used the word this morning, but I can't believe I'm blanking on it. But I was just genuinely getting better. But that's what was going on. What really happened was, at that full-time job, I was working there for 2 years. I was making great money. I had everything I thought I wanted. But I started to feel meaningless again. And I started to realize, I'm like, this is not what I want to do with my life, you know? Part of it was I still felt very lonely. And part of it was the work I was doing was not very meaningful. So fast forward a bit, I quit that job. I started a business. That was great because it kept me so busy. But the same problem came up a year later where I felt meaningless again. And it's interesting, I went to this conference for the business, and we talked about why are we doing this? Why are we doing our business? What gets us through tough times? What are we looking for when the tough times come up? And I didn't have an answer to that. You know, I didn't have a family that I was taking care of. Of course, I want money, right? I want a nice house. I want things in life, but that wasn't enough for me to really push through with the business. So I'm like, this was probably 5 months ago. I really had to take a look at my life and say, what do I want to do? You know, I don't want to keep switching careers. I don't want to keep switching things. What do I want to do that I can work on consistently and make something out of it and be happy in life? And I started to not focus so much on the money. I started to focus on what I'm doing. Is it meaningful? Is it purposeful? So that's when I stopped the business. Still going through that, by the way. Still all the rigmarole legal stuff. And I created a YouTube channel. And I'm like, at first I focused on music, dancing, and just trying to be myself and doing YouTube content. But I wasn't quite there. I wasn't quite at what I am today. So I went through about a month of that, and I'm like, okay, I had this idea. I'm like, I'm pretty big on mental health. You know, I went through some things myself. I feel like I can advocate it for it now. So I'm like, how can I create content that can help others? It feels very meaningful, and help myself. You know, this being around all this positivity is going to, of course, help myself too. So I'm like, let me interview people on their mental health story and get their word out there. That way that can help other people as well. Because everyone has a story. No one's story is just like mine. All my guests I've had on, no one's story is just like theirs. Everyone's different. But the good thing is their story can be very relatable to you. You may be going through something similar. And that is the point of the show, is hearing people's stories that you may be currently going through and seeing how they got to the other side. It's just amazing. So that's where I'm at now. That's where I'm at with this show. And if you watch this whole thing, first of all, thank you. True fan, true supporter. I want to look at this video one day. I want to look at this video one day in a couple years and say, wow, this is where we started. This is where we're at. You know, I really want to do big things. I want to do stuff around the community, around Seattle, and film it and just be this positive thing, you know. And I want just to spread positivity with this in my life, and it's very meaningful. Anyways, so I'm not sure how long this video was, to be honest. I just got caught up in things. But this is the video for this week. Updates, we have 2 guests filming this week, and 2 remote experts that we're going to be filming with, and it's going to be a completely different show compared to our live. So it's going to be very fun. So we are getting things going. And yeah, so that's Max, that's me, and I'm still struggling constantly with things, like everyone is, you know. Life is a constant battle, but doing the things that you know work for you, healthy habit-wise, make going through tough times a lot easier, truthfully. So yeah, that's that. That's my life. That's my story. I think we'll wrap it up for this video. And I hope this helped you. I hope this was interesting, entertaining. I hope it wasn't too boring. I encourage you to, if you have a lot inside that you're holding up, to find somebody you trust and to share with them your feelings, because it's very difficult to keep things inside, and it can lead into some bad things. So that's it for this video, you guys. I'm not sure if I'm going to call this the Mental Wellness Show episode 8 or just I'm not sure. Anyways, that's it, and I will see you guys next Thursday with a new video. I'm hoping eventually we can start doing 2 videos a week. I'm working on some stuff, so yes, I'm excited, and thank you guys for watching. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye. Goodbye. This is gonna be fun. My feet currently stink so bad. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. I've not had a smelly foot problem that I can remember, and suddenly they just have been smelling. Even my dog wants to smell it. So